Good day, and as you can see, quite different to last week, where a week at the plot last week had snow all over the ground. It's now Monday, and as you can see, the rain has come and the snow has gone. And also we did get winds, and my weighting down of my brassicas hasn't been successful, so I'm going to have to redo those. But the good thing is, you'll remember that the poles were frozen in the ground. No longer are they frozen in the ground. Can't get that one out there. No, I can, look. So it'll be at a jaunty angle now, but this frame is coming down now so that I can fully cover that cross of Nero di Toscana and Portuguese Cabbage. And I'm also going to weight down the rest of the netting properly, because now the bricks are not frozen onto the surface. So I'm going to get on and do that. Yeah, but yeah, very breezy, as you'll most probably hear on the microphone here, but very mild, 13 degrees, something like that, when you consider 1, 2, 3 days ago we were -6. Quite a difference. Right, come on Paul, get on and get this frame down. A bit better than Heath Robinson, maybe Professor Heath Robinson, maybe that's what that is, just a step up from Heath Robinson. And what's important is that there's enough slack in the net for when these grow under here, and obviously over here, there's headroom for them to grow. I am sure that in a week or so I'll be adjusting this a little bit, though I have found that doing this here, so like weaving the fleece, the netting around there and then putting a brick on top, does seem to do the trick, which is good. But yeah, if I mean, you can see it is blowing in the wind, not surprisingly, because there is wind, but I think it's pretty okay. And the other thing is should a bird get under this netting, there is room everywhere for a bird to be able to get out as well, which is really important. So it's not sort of fully weighted and restricted onto the bed, so there is space here. Now, yes, of course, that means that a bird can get underneath the netting to peck, but that's pretty unlikely. But should it happen, there is room for them to get out as well. And should this netting tear at all, which I have seen it do in the past, then if a hole appears and a bird makes its way into the hole, if it can't find the same hole to get out again, it's got other routes to get out, including both ends, of course. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that. As you have most probably gathered, it is raining now. It's drizzling. It's a heavy drizzle actually, and we've had over 24 hours of pretty constant drizzle stroke rain. And that's of course why that we have no snow down here anymore. And because it's now 13 degrees, there's no chance of freezing. So it looks as though we're going to go into this week with 8 to 10 degrees on average throughout the week. So hopefully some of the things will start pecking up and growing again. The brassicas have shrugged off all of that cold and all of that snow. I say all of that snow, all of that London snow, maybe I should say. Yeah, they've shrugged it off and they're looking absolutely perfect, so they will be fine. And I'm glad to have finally got that netting done a bit more properly. Professor Heath Robinson rather than just Heath Robinson, as I say. I was going to do this last segment in the shed, this last segment of this last part of the first segment of A Week at the Plot. I was going to do it in the shed, but it's so dark in there, it was really grainy and I looked even worse than usual, so I thought no, I will do it outside. And it's rather nice just sitting out here in the rain, or the heavy drizzle, as I say. In fact, maybe that is rain, maybe it's rain. I had a fabulous chat with Vivi this morning, so that was really nice. But also this afternoon I spoke to another ex-trustee of Social Farms and Gardens actually. I haven't spoken to her for about 6 months. I didn't realise that she had also stepped down from Social Farms and Gardens, and we were just catching up on things, just catching up on each other. And she started talking about Sunday Chat and the library mention in Sunday Chat, and we started talking about libraries and and memories again, and we started talking about referencing, where you see footnotes at the bottom of texts and documents and presentations where it references a particular passage in a book or a particular chapter, maybe even in a book. And we were talking about how when she went to school in Manchester, even at Manchester University when many years ago, she wasn't aware of how to do referencing. And when her professor said about reading a book to a number of them, they thought they had to read the whole book rather than just the number of references that had been indicated in the book. So that was quite interesting. She said that the book was really good, that she found the book interesting, but it was the references that had been specified that she hadn't realised she just needed to read those references. And we got talking about different types of referencing in books. I mean, how random is that? It's it was just funny. It was just funny and rather joyous as well. Anyway, I am going to leave this first segment of A Week at the Plot there and go home and have a cup of tea, and then I will see you again later in the week for further segments in this week's A Week at the Plot, which of course finishes on Christmas Day. I've just realised that. there we are. Will I be down here Christmas Day? I will be. Will I be picking Brussels sprouts Christmas Day? No, I won't be. Oh dear, I'm going to play on that for the whole week, I think. Anyway, I will see you pretty soon. Bye. Some to eat, those, and those are going in the compost bin. So good day. I've just harvested from that Portuguese cabbage over there, and glad to say that the netting that I put on over the, where was it? I was going to say over a week ago. It's actually on Monday, I think. That has all held fine in the winds that we've had. Everything is looking quite fresh, but also quite tired, following the really cold spell that we had. Yeah, there's I mean, the grass here is looking really quite tired. I think the cold, I mean, if we go to here, I'm not sure if you can see, but some of the turnip leaves have sort of frozen through, and in defrosting they've sort of gone over. Others, like here, are looking really fresh, which I suppose is what we would expect. The brassicas are all looking fine. And then when we come to the beetroot bed, I think I will be harvesting a lot of these. As you can see, a lot of the leaf has frozen and gone over, but look, that one hasn't. But my concern now is if they start, oh, heavy rain. Let's go into the shed. That rain at the moment is quite heavy. I've pulled my door to because it's just at an angle where it's actually coming in the door if the door is open. So yeah, I came down here today because I needed to come down. We had some peelings from our peelie bin that I needed to bring down and put in the compost bin. So I did that. And I also wanted to get some brassica leaves, which, as you saw, I picked. Those are the Portuguese cabbage. They are going to be had with a stew that I did last night, just a vegetable stew in the Instant Pot, and we had that with a lentil sauce. So this evening I fancied the same thing but with some brassicas, so some cruciferous vegetables. So that's what I came down here to do. Put things in the compost bin and then take some brassicas home to have for supper. And it's the first day I've been here since Monday. We travelled up north because we had Richard's Auntie Bev's funeral to attend. So we did that and we stayed a few days, and we came back yesterday. And we came back yesterday because the weather looked as though it was better on Thursday for driving than today. And I think we made the right choice, because today, as I say, has been really wet this morning. The rain seems to have eased off now, but I'm sure it will be back very, very soon. But yeah, it's it's odd to think that we've now passed the winter solstice and the days are going to begin to get that little bit longer. I find we don't really notice it for about a week, But I think by the time sort of New Year's Eve comes, that's when I begin to feel that the days are getting longer. Though, you know, they are. It's a matter of fact. We've passed the shortest day and we're heading towards the longest day. And of course, for many traditional gardeners, the shortest day is when you'll be putting out your garlic or sowing onions, because you will then be harvesting them on the longest day. We don't quite abide by that. Well, we don't abide by that. I did try onions sown on Christmas Day one year, but found that they didn't really come to fruition in the time that I wanted them to come to fruition, which was by the sort of end of June. But for other people, it works really, really well. So that's it for me today. I'm going to go home. There is something that we need to record for Sunday. So we've got a Sunday chat to record for Sunday. Then we might be seeing you for a live at a later date. Anyway, I'm going to leave it here. And oh, I can just see another plot holder who is waving at me through my window. So I think I'm going to have a brief chat to them and then I will wend my way home. But whatever, I will see you again very soon. Bye. Good day and happy Christmas. It's Sunday the 25th of December, the last segment of a week at the plot for this week, and I have come down to harvest, as you saw. So I've harvested the cross between the Nero di Toscana and the Portuguese cabbage, which it's a really sweet brassica leaf. It really is. It's an absolute find, you know, it's an absolute unexpected delight, because we didn't expect those two to cross. And I've got plenty of seeds, which this growing year I'm going to be seeing whether when we sow them they come true to this plant. But what we've also noticed with this plant, as you have seen, is at the side of it are a couple of little seedlings. They're sort of little plantlets actually that have come off the stem. But also we had one branch break off, if you remember, and we stuck it in the ground, and that branch is actually doing really well in its own right. In fact, I harvested a few leaves from it a couple of days ago. I don't think you saw that, but that, you know, I have done that. And it's great. So it'll be interesting to see whether the seeds come true to what we have, or whether they revert or change again. And hopefully we'll be able to take some more cuttings off that to perennialize the plant, because this is now its second growing year and it's doing pretty well so far. Really happy with it. Oh, big collared dove just went past. So yeah, the other thing that I came down to do was put compost into the hexagonal compost bin. The black compost bin is full, so it's now going into the hexagonal compost bin. You may remember that's where all of the brassicas we ripped out earlier in this calendar year went after they got done by aphids, including all of our Brussels sprouts. So we have had to buy Brussels sprouts this year. What a thing, which I actually prepared. I did the kitchen prep on those before I came down, so yeah, that was done. So I popped those the peely bin and the scrapings that we had into the hexagonal compost bin. And what I've also done is, as I've been doing my veg prep this morning, I have been putting them into this, it's not a Tupperware, but it's a plastic tub. And we've got parsnips and carrots and red cabbage and Brussels sprouts. That's all in there. No onions, no alliums, no leeks, because this is lunch for our Cedrics and our Cedrichitas. So for those who are not aware, those are our worms that sit at the back of the polytunnel here. And in fact, this will do for Christmas lunch, it'll do for New Year's Day lunch, and it'll do for virtually every Sunday lunch throughout January, I think. I'm not going to put all of this in. I know they've still got some food left at the moment. I put some cardboard in the other day, which they went, yum, cardboard. So they're enjoying that. I've got some eggshells, which I have baked and I've crushed up, and they will be going in tomorrow because I forgot to bring them down today. So they might go in actually next weekend. But yeah, I'm going to put maybe a third of this in, and then I'm going to just leave this in the polytunnel, because even if ice gets to these and they freeze up, that's not going to matter, because once I put them into the wormery, they'll defrost, and actually in that way they're already partially broken down, and the worms were going, we don't have to do so much work in eating these. It's a bit like for us eating cooked veg, you know, it's easier for, well, it goes through our digestion quicker, let's put it that way, where raw veg is, you know, lots of roughage in there, it's really good for you. So yeah, depending upon what raw veg. I don't eat raw aubergine, you know, but then again, we haven't grown any aubergine apart from that tiny one about that we harvested about 3 months ago. So yeah, that is what that is for. Oh, why have I got my glasses on? Oh, I can see you better now. I've got my distance glasses on. I don't really need those. And the other thing that I'm doing, and this is a little bit naughty, but I just couldn't resist it. I have got a packet of old leek seeds. When are these best before? Oh no, they're sowed by ending 2023. So there we are. So they're still valid. I'm not sure how I got these. Really not sure. Maybe someone sent them to us, or maybe they were, I think they might have, yeah, I think somebody was getting a magazine and they gave them to us. I think that's what happened. They came free with the magazine. So I am going to be sowing some leeks today. I mean, I just can't resist it. I just can't. You know, we've got the broad beans there. They've now germinated. They're doing okay. They're about 1 inch to 2 inches high at the moment and are looking pretty happy with themselves. We've got our garlic growing. That's now about 3 to 4 inches high, most of it. And that will really not be doing a lot, but it's a lovely bit of shard of green as I come down, so I'm quite happy with that over the winter months. We've got our brassicas, we've got our turnips, and I was saying the other day about the beetroot. The ice that we had, the icy days that we had, and that snow and that really cold weather, nothing like the weather bomb that America is having and Canada is having at the moment, and Japan actually, nothing like that, nothing as bad as that. But what we really did for our beetroot leaves, most of the turnip leaves are still okay. I had a look at them today. The ones that were looking a bit rough have gone, but actually all the turnips that we have growing have fresh leaf on them, so that's okay. The beetroots, yeah, all of the stems of the leaf and the leaves, most of them have succumbed to the really cold weather that we had. And I will be harvesting, I think, quite a few of those and prepping them and putting them in the freezer. So yeah, so I just wanted to say that because I realized when I did the video a couple of days ago, or was it yesterday? No, it's Friday. I got interrupted by rain and I didn't finish what I was saying. So yeah, but anyway, look, shut up, Paul. Get into the poly and I'm going to show you what I'm doing with these. The seeds that I've got are Leon Prize Taker, and they do say sow in January, so it's a little bit early. I'm just going to sow 2 per module. These modules, I don't know, I must measure them. They must be about 5 centimeters and I think 9 centimeters deep. And I've just seen Brush, which was lovely. He was under his shed and was wondering what I was doing, which was really lovely. So I said hello to him, obviously. That's our resident male fox, for those who might not know. He's quite tame, but quite friendly. No, I won't say he's tame. He's not tame. He's quite friendly. And it's always a joy to see him. Now, you most probably can't see these seeds because they're sort of black against the very dark brown of the compost. But I'm just placing 2 seeds, as I say, per module at the moment. And what I'm going to do is I'll mostly be pricking one of these out. I need to get some more seeds once they start growing. I'm terrible at pricking things out because I feel it's the sort of end of something's life, but I think it's sensible to do it. Right, I think I've done every mod. Oh, Brush has just come into the poly. He's at my feet. Oh my god. Oh, that's really... How are you, darling? Are you okay? He says, yeah, there's nothing of interest. I'm going back out. Oh, wow. I've had him at my feet once before, but yeah. Oh, wow, that was quite something. I'm just going to pop my fingers like that, just make sure that the seed that we put on top is in good contact with the compost, and then I'm just going to top up with this spare compost we've got at the side. This is compost I haven't used this year. It's been sitting out, so there's nothing special about this compost. Right, just softly tamping down, and some more. Let's just put that there. That can go in there. Right, and then we will see what these do. Fingers crossed. That's a little unexpected sowing. I just thought yesterday, I know it's a little bit early, but you know what? I don't know what this year is going to bring because we're likely to be moving in 2023. I know the leeks should be sown in January, but we're only 7 days off the beginning of January, so it's only a little bit early. And I thought if I put into these modules and they do okay, then we'll be harvesting some leeks which we might be able to barbecue in the early summer, which would be lovely. And if they don't come to anything, or if they do come to something and we move before they come to fruition, then of course anyone who has the plot after me will be able to benefit from them. And I think this plot will be split up into 2 halves again, just like it was when I originally got this top half up here, and then the bottom half, as you know, a couple of years ago. And yeah, so I've got my harvest of the kale, which is really great. I've done the seeds, I've checked on the cedrics and cedricetas, I've given them some parsnips and Brussels sprouts, so they'll be happy with their Christmas Day lunch. The other scraps I've just got here, and I'll give them to the Cedrics and Cedrichitas over the coming week or so. And yeah, that's it. And I've done some sowing. I mean, you know, that's lovely. That's lovely. I put things in the compost. So yeah, there we are. There we are. Right, well look, whatever you are doing today, have a good day. Whether you celebrate Christmas or not, whether you're religious or not, just have a good day. We're going to have a friend over for lunch today, which will be nice. Prep is all done. It's going to be a nut roast. It's all sort of sorted, so that's really great. And then we're going to have a quiet few days because Richard will be working his usual days sort of between Christmas and New Year. So yeah, it's sort of like after a few days it's a normal week. Anyway, I will see you again next week for a further upload on YouTube. If you're on Planet Vegetaria, I'll see you through the week for segments. And whatever you're doing over the coming days, do enjoy it. And in a week's time, it will be New Year. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? I'm not going to get into where has 2022 gone, but yeah, where has 2022 gone? Anyway, have a good time whatever you're doing, and I hope that you can be calm and contented. See you soon. Bye.